What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 185 of the 30% podcast. I go by a fine African man, aka Afamefuna. My co-host goes by Sam, the Jedediah Are Eliapenda. And together we have formed the 30% podcast, a platform where we talk about the Kenyan music industry in depth. And we have fun times together, like saying fun things as well, right? And you guys get to join us on this amazing journey in video, by the way. This is the third time we're doing the video. When will we stop?
Now. Let's stop now.
No, we're going to stop it now.
Exactly.
Okay.
No need. They can see the video.
And what else do I usually do for the intro?
You've butchered this.
We want to see Kenyan artists get paid more and played more.
This is bad. This is very bad.
Sam, tell us, this is not bad. Don't let Sam bring. Listen, in life, guys, you have to see things with the half.
I saw somewhere that you can't give people life lessons at the beginning of a podcast. You lose their interest really quickly.
Really?
Yeah.
So you see, guys,
you need to hook them with fun and banter before you start teaching them things.
Hi guys, we're having so much fun and banter right now. But
speaking of fun and banter, what's going on, right?
I asked you what's going on, and you didn't say.
Oh, I'm all right. I'm cool. I'm chill. I'm tired. I'm like, my battery is at 70.
That's a lie, because you told me you were hot before the podcast started. So now you're cool and chill. This podcast was built on corny jokes, and just because we're in video doesn't mean that that's going to end.
It wasn't built on corny jokes.
Yes, it was.
It was not built on corny jokes.
It was built on the back of corny jokes.
On the desire to make the Kenyan industry, to have conversations about the Kenyan industry, not corny jokes. No one cared about a corny joke. You brought the corny jokes into this. I'm doing all right. My battery's at 73%.
Why 73?
I don't know. 73 is just a number. It's almost charged. But I'm all right, man. I'm cool, ready to talk about things that impact the music industry.
How was your weekend?
This is not an interview. How are you doing?
No, but how was
weekend was cool. It was chill. It was chill. It was all right. I don't know what happened Saturday. Saturday was spent in anticipation. No, that's not true. Saturday was chill. I don't know. But the main thing that happened during this weekend was Sunday, which was BNW.
So we're not gonna ask
June
about
edition.
my week before we even get into blankets and wine.
See, this is why you're
do you see what I go through on a daily basis?
We're not doing this because you asked me what did you do during the weekend. I am saying what I'm doing during the weekend. You interrupted me so that you can say what you did during the weekend. And that's actually not nice. That's not good, and I don't feel good about that at all. It's not kind.
I'm not fostering a safe space.
You're not fostering. You've never fostered a safe space.
That's a lie. I foster safe environments for you, man. Like, this is a safe space where you can always.
We're losing them. We're
losing the plot.
We can do this after the podcast. What did you do during your podcast?
During the podcast.
So rehearsed. Not during the podcast. Oh, this is a disaster. This is terrible.
We've got off the rails,
It's because
guys.
of your intro. Your intro threw me off. The weekend.
Yeah, it's all my fault. My weekend was cool. I've been watching Love Island. Now, those of you guys who are Love Island fans, you know this is our peak time. I'm back on the Love Island hype train. So the thing is, Love Island UK and Love Island USA are happening concurrently. The beautiful thing is, or the silver lining, I would say, is the UK season is a stinker. It sucks. So I get to just focus on the Love Island US, whatever, which is pretty cool. Huge fan of Melanie, although she's kind of crazy. Sincere is also really dope, guys.
It's so funny how you're going on about this. I have no idea what you're talking about. No idea whatsoever.
I don't know how you guys feel about Kenzie. And do you guys think KC is actually legitimate, or he's just saying things about Anaya? Find out next week on the 30% podcast in our Love Island review. Then, after that, Sunday rolled around.
Never doing that. and not doing that again. That's not a segment. That's not a recurring segment.
No, but yeah. So I mean, we got to blankets. I actually got there before you. And
How long? What am I trying to say? How much earlier did you get there?
So I actually got late because I got there late because I wanted to see Labdi and she was starting exactly at 3.
Ended up not.
And so I got there around 3:40.
Oh, so you caught the end of a show?
So I caught like 20 minutes of Labdi set.
Oh, nice.
And it was pretty cool. There were people on the dance floor. So yeah, I mean, it was a different vibe because, like, as you guys know, Blankets was indoors. And so I walk in and I had
controversially.
It was very controversial. Yeah. And yeah, I walk in, I didn't know what to expect. But I walk in and I see Labdi. I saw a friend of mine, so I beelined it to them because, you know, as an introvert, you need a social crutch, right?
That's the thing. You get there and like, who do I know or
Exactly.
even vaguely know so that I seem like I am okay in the public setting. That's what you do.
So that's me. So I was just there scrolling on my phone on my weather app, you know, just trying to look cool, like I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
Opening and closing tabs.
Closing
apps.
That's me now.
Oh,
so then
crazy.
I see my friend and I'm like, bet. So I go to my friend. I say what's up, and then she's like, yeah, and then yeah. So Labdi was really good. I don't know if she performed Away with that's my favorite song. Away with her and Costa Ojuang. So I don't
Costa
think
was there.
Was he?
Mm-hmm. See, he performed. He performed with Kadenge.
Costa was.
It was, yes. I saw him. Anyway, continue.
We clearly had
so he didn't perform.
Very different experiences.
Oh, you don't know whether she performed.
Yeah, that's
Away.
the thing. That's the thing. That's what I was saying. I don't know if they performed.
Maybe
the
she
song
performed
Away.
with him early and then he left.
Maybe
and then came back.
I don't know. But yeah, so Labdi was good, and then after that, Mordecai Dex came on.
That's when I got in. I got in during Mordecai when his set was just about to end.
And Mordecai was like, a lot of people were really, really fanned out.
Motion.
Yeah, so he had motion.
There's some motion.
Yeah, and then that's when Sam came, and then we met a podcast fan, Josh, the curator. That was really cool.
Shout out to Josh.
And then it was so cool to see Zaituni. Like, she was there in the artist area, and she had a bunch of fans. And
fangirling. Oh my gosh, Zaituni!
So you know,
it was interesting.
Bro,
it's always interesting watching her face when that happens.
She was overwhelmed. And then I was observing like one of those girls who was like fangirling over Zaituni, and I could see it in her eyes. I could see the love. You know, you could see the love in somebody's eyes.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, it's so cool to see.
I want that for me.
Like how far Zaituni has come. So Zaituni, I don't know. What was your experience walking in?
I got there during Mordecai Dex's set. So that was I didn't enter the dome, what's that area called? The indoor arena.
Just the indoor arena.
The indoor space. I didn't enter, but I could hear from outside. It was sounding good. Then spent largely, usually my first thing, okay, I say usually, but this is the second blanket and when I'm attending. The first thing I usually would go to is the Onja Onja stage. And so
you want to start with the Onja Onja stage?
we could start on. So I went there, I think I got there when One Down was performing. Shout out to One Down. Was it One Down? Yeah, I think One Down here, I think he had just started performing. And so yeah, so it was just cool. I got into the Onja Onja stage. Guys were there. It wasn't as packed, but I really noticed that though.
It was the basketball court, by the way.
Yeah, the basketball court. So the thing about the Onja Onja stage is that it usually serves as a waiting room for the most part. Like the majority of it serves as a waiting room for.
It's like a buffer. It's like a buffer between now like waiting time. Like we're waiting
there's
for
nothing happening here.
to go
I'm
to
definitely
the
not
stage.
here to watch ads. I'm not going to sit here and watch ads. So let me go see who is playing. So it's usually it's the attendance usually goes up and down. But and that's really strange for DJs too, because now as a DJ you just have to roll with it, especially at a festival. Because at a festival you would
wait. What do you mean it's strange though?
I mean, because you could be playing your set and a whole bunch of people come in and they're vibing. The place is vibrant. Everyone is dancing, and then they announce Labdi is on the is about to go on stage,
and everybody leaves.
And everyone is like, it's like the tide. The tide just the tide just goes back. And then just
hey, listen, it's part of being a DJ.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you really honestly have to have the heart, and you have to keep going at it. And then now when people come back, and then it's like, all right, cool. Then the energy is back, because as a DJ, your energy plays off the people, and so when there's not many people, it's hard for you to keep that vibe up and still be dancing and be fake turning knobs and whatnot. But then, yeah. So anyway, one down set was good. The rest of it was a blur because I just kept walking back and forth, and it'd probably be the best person to say. Because
let's talk about the walking back and forth.
Almost forgot about it.
So the walking back and forth thing was a thing. If you were unfit, this was not the type of event.
This is not the blankets for you,
because it was a lot of climbing stairs and going downstairs.
Yeah.
Okay, what I want to start by saying is this served like as a very interesting case study, I would say.
Yeah.
For indoor events at that scale. Because it's not like indoor events have never been done. It's just like at that scale. Which, by the way, blankets
you mean for the Kenyan audience?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Right? And the fact that the event was it was packed.
Yeah, those people.
It was packed.
Like ants. There was ants everywhere.
It was especially during Watenda Willie's
that was towards the end.
Yeah, towards the end. Like there was so many people. And it was actually a vibe. But yeah, I was saying the walking in and out, and you had to like to go to the dance floor, you had to use a different exit, and then you had to use a different entry to go to the seating area, and then you had to use a different exit. Like
it wasn't as straightforward.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing where you only used to it after like the second, third hour. Exactly. You're like, okay, I know where I'm going. I was even confused towards the end.
I was so confused in the beginning. No, right. I got a hang of it like hour 3, like Sam says.
Yeah.
But I did like the idea of having the indoors spaces and then having the outdoors vibe with the vendors and everything. It was actually a bit of a vibe because it was now like there were 3. It's like there were 3
stages,
experiences.
Experiences.
You know what I mean? Like,
because
the outdoor experience was also really nice. Just like being with, like, buying drinks, buying food, and just people just being out there, like taking pictures, creating content, that kind of thing. So that was a vibe. We should just talk about the Onja experience. I have to be honest, like the acoustics in the basketball gym were a bit of a challenge, let's just say, because
challenge is a nice way to put it.
The high end, so there was 2 issues. The high end was really high ending, and then there was reflections from the back, so it was a bit like if you had to stand at the sweet spot. You had
to either stand
really,
at the front, towards the front, let's say the first third of the basketball court, so that you catch what's the direct sound coming from the speakers, or you stand completely at the back so that the only thing you're hearing is the reflections coming to your head. But if you stand in the middle, you're hearing what's going on in front,
2/3 away,
and then like half a millisecond later, you're hearing more sound coming from the back. So that was a little, and then it's very dancey. It's very it's a very straightforward like beat. So it's like boom, 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 boom. Because when there's different random reflections going on, like what do you dance to? Which one? which dance do you dance to?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you dance to what's happening in the front or what's happening in the back, even though they're the same thing?
Yeah, and
that was rough. So it wasn't, and the other thing,
but it was very hot.
Yeah, but see, they warned us about that though. They say
they did
this
put
venue
a
is
warning,
going to get hot.
To be honest, yeah. So I mean, props to them for that.
Yeah, the reflections could have been better. Maybe they could have like put like there was a huge like black cloth. Look at me giving advice. Huge black cloth at the beginning. Maybe they could have used that also in different places, like at the back. Although that kind of kills the vibe of the room. It starts turning into it makes it look like a studio rather than a place for music. But yeah, those reflections were crazy.
But for me, the accessibility in terms of just like the walking around and the Onja experience, those would be like my 2 critiques. In terms of like the indoor experience, it actually wasn't like the way people were saying this would be like the end of the world. Like it really wasn't the end of the
In their
world.
defense, everything tends to be the end of the world.
Yeah, it wasn't the end of the world experience wise. As much as yes, it didn't rain, and like in an optimal situation, we would have liked to do the event outside. I think this was a good case study for something like different.
They can definitely like use this to improve on some of the just like you do with regular shows. Like, okay, use this to improve. Okay, what do people like? What do people not like? And then I don't think that there's not as much noise as on Twitter as there usually is after this kind of thing, especially when people are completely against it.
Because there was nothing like
Major,
aside from those two things, like there wasn't anything like real like major to like complain about, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I heard some people talking about, and I didn't experience it because I didn't go around the whole arena. There was like the top place where there were seats. I didn't go around, but I heard some people saying that there were like many blind spots in terms of the sound. So the sound was only like if you're facing the stage, that's when you get the most sound. But then if you're seated at some of the corners, you're not able to get. It's like you're almost hearing nothing. So that's something that could be worked on in terms of just getting the sound to be more of a 360 or 180 experience, where, because it wasn't around stage, 180 is where there are no dull spots, dull points. Because that's really important too. Because what if you want to sit there?
But then you
can't. So now you're all forced to one area, and then it gets crowded, and that can minimize your experience.
Yeah, I get that. But yeah, I personally think like once you get over the fact that it was indoor, and I just want to say like I think the primary way people enjoy like being at Blankets is to have it outside.
Yeah.
But this was a different experience. And I'm actually low-key like, I mean, it's interesting that it happened. So maybe
hey, MDQ and the team pulled it off.
They actually did.
It wasn't a bad show.
It wasn't a bad show.
It worked. Yeah.
So the other observation I had, and this is this is more to do with how people were responding to the acts on stage.
Oh yeah.
Well, in a not in a weird way, but in a wholesome way, I would say people are really behind Kenyan artists, or maybe people weren't feeling Fave as much. Maybe there's a fine balance there, but like people were feeling Fave, but like when Major comes on after Fave, or when Watenda Willie come on, like the vibe was just way more like active for those two acts.
Yeah.
And also I feel like Fave, she had session like instrumentalists as well, but they were also relying a lot on playback.
It was a lot of playback.
For Fave.
And on that, her session was interrupted quite a bit because of her she kept someone
the earpiece.
Someone had to keep coming up and fixing that earpiece. Like it happened like 3 or 4 times, and that obviously interrupts your flow and your session. But then before we get to the Kenyan acts, I think in terms of Fave, it's while we are on set, I just think while we're in the arena, I was thinking about it because Fave, like if you look at her numbers, Fave has good numbers. She has 4.5 on Spotify. Some people say that doesn't mean anything, but then it means that you have some sort of you have
motion.
A listening. Yeah, you have some motion. And so it's just like sitting, okay, then why is it? Because at first, honestly, people were just like, oh, it's just wide-eyed, just standing there looking at the poor lady. Like I was like, and she was trying her very best to get the people engaged, which she ended up doing in the end. And I'm just like, why? I was just trying to figure out why on earth there's an artist, especially a Nigerian artist, and Nigerian artists tend to do well in the Kenyan scene because they're here a lot. Why do you think that guys weren't like bumping to Fave in the beginning?
I mean, I think it's just because Fave right now isn't. I don't think she's like at the forefront of even in the like Nigerian.
She's not
industry.
A household name.
Yeah, she's really not at the forefront of like people's, perception and stuff like that. So I'm sure for a lot of people, I wouldn't say that was an introduction to Fave, but maybe for a lot of people that might have been a bit of an introduction to like her catalog and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think that was one thing. And then also just like the fact that she was relying a lot on playback and stuff like that. So it wasn't as engaging because she had to do most of the work to make what she was doing interesting. But that being said, people showed out for the Kenyan, like, bro, like the Kenyan artists like had the biggest like pop. Like that's what they be saying in WWE. Like who has the biggest pop, the loudest pop.
The loudest pop, yeah. Major had a really, really huge.
Yeah. Sam was really looking forward to Siaka, right?
He played that at the end after he feigned that he was leaving. And artists be doing that too. It's like, man, that's all we have time for. I'm leaving, and then the beat comes on. And I was like, yeah, they love the screaming too. But Major, I was thinking about it that he's such an interesting artist because I think Major makes music that you can. It makes music that people. Like you just when you put it on, you're feeling good about the music and about yourself. Like you can put it's the same music if you play it in a venue where there's other people, like in clubs and whatnot. It still goes the same as when you're like cleaning the house and you're bumping to Major. Like he just makes that kind of music. And the other thing I think he did really well, he made it seem when he was on stage, there's artists like when Fav was up there. To me, it felt like Fav it's a performance. It felt like she's doing her catalog and everything, and we're responding to that as people on this side. But then when Major came on, it almost felt like it's like you're in an enclosed space with him, and just how he presents the music, and I guess the type of music as well that he makes. Yeah. It's not as concerty. It just feels like you're right there. Like it's more of a one-on-one, not one-on-one, but then it's not as concerty. I don't know how else to put it. I don't know if I'm making sense. Which he does really well, I think, in just how he responds to the fans and how he interacts with the fans and the confidence that he shows. People don't talk about the confidence a lot because you can tell when an artist is not confident and they're just up there and like, oh man, I don't want to mess up. And usually if things happen that, like for example with Fav, with the whole earpiece, you can tell. But then
but she handled it as
no, I'm not even saying she handled it well. I'm not even saying that about like there's times where like things would happen on stage that are noticeable if you're really keen to it. But then the artist can make it so that not many people would notice it in terms of just how the confidence and how they go about it. I think Major did that really well. Not that anything went wrong during his set though. But then it's just how he carried himself on stage. Obviously, he's been performing for years, so that's part of it. He has a lot of experience,
and also it's also easier for him to kind of connect with the Kenyan audience.
Yeah,
because that's something that I mean, like it's just easier. You're on home turf, you're on home ground,
even more than other artists because of the type of music he makes. Major makes music that is like
that's just for like our demographic.
He's just talking to you, like you're talking to the people. Like it's using very Kenyan slang vernacular. So
and then there was Mutoria, and so for me this is my observation. So now like Mutoria going into Watendawili, and then all the features they had on stage when you look at the the Babas, Horn Sphere, Zawadi was on stage, Clark King, Charisma was on stage with Watendawili, Zinnia. Do you know what?
Wait, I missed that. I missed all of that.
No, they did. Oh, yeah. I think you had left by that time.
To Onja.
Oh no, I think you
I
left.
missed all of that.
I think you left.
Okay. Good.
Watendawili's
all right,
set.
yeah, that might have after. So because I'm an old man. All right.
Yeah, because Sam is old and he was just like, yo, my bones are creaking.
Why did you do that? Because Sam is. I didn't say my bones are creaking.
So
they were
like,
creaking. They were
yeah.
creaking. Been creaking all night.
Walking. He had taken his daily dose of melatonin because he has to like you know how so. Anyway, what was I saying? I've even forgotten what I was saying.
Serves you right. I won't even remind you. No, all the artists on stage.
Excuse me. Yeah. So, what it gave me was a feeling of, oh my God, these guys have actually like made something of themselves. Because like when I was in uni, when I was in UN, and now I'm dating myself, but this is like around 2015-ish over there.
I'll bring you melatonin next week. You might need some as well.
I remember because my extended friend group included Charisma. and like Charisma was really close with a friend of mine. And so like sometimes we would hang out in the same spaces. And I was just seeing him on stage and like commanding like attention from all these people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, that's charisma from Le Band. Like, I'm like, bro, like,
Yeah.
you didn't have known this guy like from that time. And then also like the post that Onyachpala did about how like it came from them like 4 years ago, just attending Blankets and Wine to now headlining it. And just seeing
Crazy.
all those guys like on stage, like now Zawadi, Clark King, Mutoria, it feels like, wow, this, for me, this felt like a coming of age kind of like experience to see them like, and to see the fact that they were closing the show.
Yeah.
And that's who everybody wanted to see. And just to see everybody, and Zinnia as well. Zinnia as well. Like, because Zinnia, we've known Zinnia like since her inception. It's like, bro, it's just like seeing them actually set out to do this whole music thing.
Yeah.
And then be on stage and sell out these tickets and have people singing along.
Responding to
It's so wholesome. Like, this is what you do it for. Like, I wonder how it feels like going home to sleep at night. There must be like an adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you're really looking back at it, I think some artists tend to ruminate on what could have gone better. But then if you're thinking about it that way,
ruminate. That's how you know he does psychology. Rumination. Ruminate
is yeah. Anyway, so it's fun. It is fun. Like just seeing artists on stage, even at the DJ booth. It's like, because DJing is kind of different. Because you're not necessarily, well, some of them do, right? You're not necessarily making a majority of the music you would be playing is other people's music, right? But then you're curating it, and so the curation of that and sort of the energy you're giving out, when some people might have started on what's that app? What's the DJing app that we all used?
I never used
Virtual DJ.
Oh yeah, virtual DJ.
Virtual DJ. You never used virtual DJ? So if you're DJing, you'll be starting from scratch. You've never touched it.
That's a big if. Anyway,
Did you do that?
I don't know why I did that.
That's a big if. No, but yeah, so it's just really cool seeing. The cool thing is just seeing people respond to you, because artistry is, I think, that for many people, and also for myself, the desire to go down the art route is a
scary one.
Because it's very dependent. Of course, art is an individual thing, right? And you're like, this is I keep saying, like, you do art for you, right? But then when people respond to that art or respond to whatever you do, it's like people coming up to you and be like, oh, hey, listen, I listened to this, or I heard this and I really enjoy it. It's like, okay. Like, I don't know how to feel about it. It's like, okay. But then it's very cool as an artist. I think it's definitely a thing that you take positively, like go home with that and then use that to better your
and you know, all these thoughts that you're bringing out right now, I was having. This was after you left. At that time, we were sat with Abigail Dana and her sister from Ongeza Volume. And so Sam had left, and I was sat there, and Abigail might have thought I was a bit quiet. But I was actually like thinking.
You're shedding a tear. I
wasn't shedding a tear.
You're emotional. It's okay. You are. It's fine. And you're the kind of guy too. Afam is the kind of guy to shed a tear during a concert.
Okay, to be honest, like in this podcast, I would say I'm the emotional one. But I don't know why Sam is doing this. Anyway, I was just sat there just being like, I felt super challenged. I was like, yo, you know, like this is, I don't know, you know that feeling of like when you see someone like really like doing it and you're
making
just
it.
like
super
inspired to
when you've had thoughts of making it yourself.
Exactly. And then you go back home and you're like, all right, let me make a beat.
Yeah.
Sam knows that feeling. Sam knows exactly what I'm talking about.
So many times, man.
He knows exactly what I'm talking about.
And I think I've talked about this way too many times. But sometimes while they're playing, I put on like my earphones and headphones and listen to my own music, and to just like kind of gauge the vibe and see if it matches up.
Yeah,
that's just how bad.
Just like,
I want to see if if I'm on it. But
it's inspiring. That's what I'm trying to say.
yeah, it is.
But anyway, I mean, like the whole indoors experience was really cool. It was a different experience for sure. I mean, I want to say, like, as far as that indoors like section was, like, it actually went on with like very little hitches, I would say. But I want to say, like, yes, I think the primary way, like, blankets, people would experience blankets would be outdoors, right?
Yeah.
But this served like as
Festival
a
is gives outdoorsy vibes.
but what I would want to see, and this goes back to something that MDQ was saying on the podcast, is now if people can build like arenas like for music events that are indoors, so that they have those facilities built in, and
Okay.
ways to like actually really like now do that, like instead of repurposing spaces that aren't made for music
Yeah.
to be indoor stuff. And then that'll now really elevate the experience of doing indoors
Yeah.
like shows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Having
I guess that's
having the
what I'm saying.
venues and what do you call it, resources for that. That would be cool. Will that be done? We'll see.
Find out next time on
Next
what
time.
it takes to be a Kenyan.
All right, man.
Don't make
What's up?
why are you making those faces, Sam? Why? So speaking of this, even this last topic I was saying about seeing these guys on stage and just how far they've come, and yeah, them essentially making it. I want to talk about another artist who has been in our spotlights and in our eyes and ears for a long time. And it actually sparked a question in me. So recently, Nikita Kering was on Mic Cheque, and she was essentially talking about her career. Well, of course, and the fact that she's released a new EP,
Yeah.
the Lick Back. And she was talking about being a child star, or like one of those kids who the parents like really pushed them to be in the limelight.
Notice the talent really early.
Notice the talent and really go heavy into like, all right, we're gonna take you to studios, we're gonna have you record. And now we can see the final product, or well, not even the final product, but we can see like a really polished product of all that.
Yeah.
Right, of over 10 years of being in the scene. And so she was just kind of talking about the challenges of expectation.
Ooh, challenges of expectation.
And the weight that comes.
Sounds like you should have a PowerPoint.
I should have a PowerPoint.
with that.
A
The
PowerPoint.
challenges of expectation. Yeah.
So I just basically wanted to talk about like child stars and the music industry, and what that like really looks like, because something we've never really talked about. So essentially the idea or the question I'm grappling with is, do you think parents put a lot of pressure on especially parents who decide to go this route, people like Michael Jackson's parents, or Beyonce, or even Drake's parents, because all these people were like doing things heavy in the entertainment scene as children. Like, if you were a parent,
yes,
would you go down that route? Do you think like, you get what I'm asking?
Yeah, I get what you're asking. See, that question is interesting because it's partly like when I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking, okay, there's the actual doing of putting your child on. You see them with talent, you decide, okay, this talent could benefit the world or my pockets in a way, and I'm going to try and nurture try and nurture them and all of that. And so there's that side of it. Then the other side of it that I'm thinking about is like, is it okay to put a child through that? Because we've seen from so many examples children who have, I mean, it's almost the blueprint, right? As a child star, as a like, you see a lot of the child actors on Disney, even just like Hollywood movies. You see a lot of the musicians. They get to a stage in life where they're lost. I don't say lost, but then they go through crises. and it's almost a very common thing, almost expected to some extent. So those are two things that I kind of think about when I think about that. Would I want to put my child through that? I don't know. I think if I'm going to do it, it has to be heavily regulated on the side of, I don't care about the money. I care about the development of this person, of the child, in terms of getting them to a point where they're able to take it, like when they become an adult, they're able to take care of themselves and they're not doing the growing up as like growing up is not like a what do you call it, a side conversation. And so it's like, and that's what they do. The talent is usually the main thing, and then the child's development usually is like a by the way.
There's a saying that the age where you blow up or really become famous
It's the age you stop.
is,
That's
the
why you
age
stop
stay
growing
forever.
Yeah. And I guess there's some truth to that. We've seen a lot of people go through like a mess. So would I mean, I don't mind if I do see that this child has like a lot of potential and they are in a good, like it's a good situation, a good environment for them to grow. Of course, you have to put them in front of the right people, not predators, in very different senses. Then I would encourage it. You know, it's just like sports. Like if I say a kid, my child is good in sports, I'm going to encourage it. But then again, the development of the child, because that's super important. Some parents are just like, hey, yo, this is a bag, and fine, we'll take care of the kid. We'll make sure the kid doesn't die. However, anything kind of goes. So yeah.
But we also never hear about the people who don't make it out of those situations.
That's true.
Because there's a lot of parents who like go heavy in putting their kids through the ringer in terms of trying to make them stars, but then there's only a finite amount of spaces for
your child is not your insurance
what
do you call it, policy.
But then again, I would say on the other hand, it does breed like for like really successful, like
starting them
like
when they're young.
Like when it works, it can really work.
It pays a lot, and then you fight with them, and then they don't.
You get a project Mbappe type thing, and then they eventually it always ends in the parent being
trying
fired.
trying to grapple for
even
exactly.
Beyonce fired her dad.
Yeah,
like it always ends like that.
You can't mix family and business. So that's the thing, though. I think there are very successful people who have done that.
Yeah.
But it's not. We of course, the loudest voices are the ones who, you know, we hear. There's like tabloids and drama and all that stuff. So, yeah, it's interesting. It's a difficult thing. Do you think? How do I ask this? Do you think as an artist is more valuable, having started from the bottom, now they're here?
What do you mean by value or valuable?
That's the thing. Now, what's the value there, right? In terms of, okay, value, when I say value, maybe I mean more of like a sentimental value. Like, would you vibe more with an artist who you've watched grow up from like a child up till now, than someone who made a hit 2 years ago, and they're probably at the same, right? Because music is like that, right? An artist could be grinding since they were like 5 years old, singing, dancing, doing all those things, and then they finally make hits when they turn 23, 24. And then there could be an artist who just turned on FL.
You know what?
Last week,
I actually think
he's made a hit.
I would say yes.
Really?
Like if I as a consumer was like, I was invested in your career since you were, let's say, like, I don't know, 17, right?
Yeah.
And then 10 years I've been paying attention, and then like I'm seeing you at the heights at 27, and I was involved in those 10 years, like listening to your music, listening to all these phases. It's kind of, that's going to happen with us and like Rema, for example. You know what I mean? Because we've seen him since he's like 19, right? Yes, I think that artist to me is more valuable because I've had a chance to be part of like the process.
Yeah.
And I think the journey, everybody has this cliche of saying the journey is
It's more
more,
important than the destination.
but no, it actually
I don't
kind of
know.
is though.
Destination is pretty important.
I've watched so many
Means
interviews.
nothing without a
No,
destination.
but listen, well, that's true. But I've watched so many interviews of artists saying, "Yo, that initial moment in their career when people were starting to discover who they were, and
Felt
they were
better, yeah.
and they were beginning to get motion and like just have that feeling of recognition. Like there's nothing like even all this success, even if you get 20 million monthly listeners, 30 million, 100 million month, like it just all blurs together and it doesn't feel as exciting at some point.
Yeah, because at that point but at that point, I think your expectations have shifted. When you're an artist, your expectation is the response that you're getting. You know, how are people interacting with my art? How are people interacting with me? How is my philosophy and everything going out into the world? And what's sort of like the picture that I'm painting? But then when you're established, you already know. Like if you've been doing this for years, you're on stage, you already know these guys are good. You already know if you cut the mic off, everyone is going to sing to
Like,
your song.
listen,
So that
Sam,
expectation is done.
These 3 years we've been doing this podcast, like now when we make it in year 5,
Why are you taking it all the way to year 5? Why can't you make it now?
why have I done that to us? Anyway, like these 3 years will be, I think they'll be more enjoyable than
5.
when we get to the heights.
Maybe.
I think
Maybe.
so.
Maybe I see things differently. I think. For me, it's more fine. Yeah,
So enjoy now,
but I'll still enjoy later as well.
but enjoy now. Be present now. Be present in the here.
Am I not present? I'm present. We're presently recording. But no, that makes sense. I think so. Some people look at it that way. Definitely the parents of the child star have that sort of investment in it. Is it like a moral? Do you think it's morally what's the word? Like, do you think it's a bad thing for a parent to turn their child to essentially, because this happens, right? Essentially like a slave, right? And so you have a
Well, I wouldn't. A slave is a strong word.
no. They are slave to their talent in the sense that you have a 10-year-old, and from Monday to Fridays they're doing in the first half of the day they're working, doing rehearsals, dance rehearsals, music rehearsals. Because parents do that these days. You have to do every single thing. You have to know an instrument. You have to be a good actor. You have to be a good musician as well, and all of that. So they're doing rehearsals, and then the later half of the day they're doing ads and they're shooting films and stuff. And so they never really have time to themselves. Do you think like a parent who decides to do that, like, do you think that's a bad thing essentially for the individual being the artist and their development, or is it just part of the game? And as long as the parent makes sure that the child is able to handle it, like, it's all good.
Yeah, I think you've answered the question. As long as the parent makes sure that the child is able to handle it, then it's all good. I think that the challenging part comes when parents, or not even parents, really, like when you have really young stars, right? And then you do something great, right? And then now it's the voices. This is what you need to do. This is how you need to sound. This is the direction you
and
need
Nikita
to go.
talked about that as well.
She did,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Even Karun, I feel like had elements of that, because like if you listen to stuff that she did in Camp Mula and stuff that she does now,
Yeah.
totally different. Which tells you that direction of music, as much as I'm sure it's something that she enjoyed, I don't think it's something that is like her primary like mode of expression.
Yeah.
Because how she chooses to express herself now is more, it seems like it's more true to who she is.
And she,
right?
she said, especially during the last EP, I can't remember the name, but then she keeps saying like, I'm finally making music that I'm vibing to, that
and
I
that's
like,
what-
finding
and-
music that I feel like this is what I want to sound like.
And that's exactly what
How many years in?
Nikita also said
Yeah.
about this project in comparison to like things like X. And that tends to always happen with people who blow up like really young.
Yeah.
Is where they go through like a period of reinvention or something like that, or where they're trying to find this themselves, or where they're trying to completely detach from what they were told they
break
need
away
to
from
be.
the system and the machine that you sort of grew up in. Yeah.
But then you see the thing, so where the gray area is, and I think this is the last thing I'll say about it, is it really talking about destinations and outcomes, it really depends on how the outcome pans out. Because if the outcome is great, then can you really it's hard, because how can you really criticize or critique the people who took those formative years, like, and decided, yo, we're going to do this, and then it actually ends up being like Lewis Hamilton, for example, and his dad, like,
Yeah.
driving him and paying all that, but taking 2 jobs to be able to afford.
Make sure that he can do that.
You know what I mean? Right? Because you can see the final product right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The problem is if you now start seeing, okay, now, they have mental health issues. They never really had a childhood.
Some get into like really bad
like
drug
Michael
abuse.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson never really had a childhood, so people say he was very childlike even as an adult, because he didn't get a chance to like play around and stuff like that.
Have you watched the?
I haven't.
No, it's not.
I haven't watched the
Not
documentary.
okay, yeah.
No,
It's
I
a
haven't.
documentary.
Yeah.
I couldn't finish it. I was like, it's not that I value Michael in that way. It's just that sometimes that kind of stuff. Like, I love docs. Don't get me wrong. I love docs that expose.
I don't like docs.
It's docs all day.
I don't
5 a.m.
like the toxic, like, serial kill. Do you know why? Because I feel like I just have so much empathy, guys. I have so much empathy. I'm such an empathetic being.
What do you mean by that? That's
no.
You're bigging up
sometimes
yourself.
when I don't know how people just consume that content like
for entertainment,
bro. Like, sometimes it's like the darkest, and then this serial killer would flay his whatever's and then bury the finger here, and then this, and I'm like, bro, this
bury
is
the
so,
finger.
like, yeah, no, but then the thing is that stuff,
funny.
like, bro, that stuff really affects me, and I'm like,
It affects me too.
Don't want to consume that.
What really drew me into doc was financial crimes. I don't know why I found that really interesting.
That's cool.
But then no, but I still ended up going into, because it's very intriguing. I don't know why it is, but it is. It's one of the reasons I think serial killer and crime podcasts tend to be the highest. I think not the highest. Let me say the highest, but then it's top 3 or top 4 of things in terms of like topics, and makes a lot of money. I know people are just like interested, but like it comes to a time where after that I have to throw on some Michael Scott, some The Office, so I can like wash my spirit, because some of that stuff can get really dark.
Can tell me a bit about this, because he does therapy. Like, as a kid, I used to really struggle to watch Johnny Bravo. Because I used to cringe so hard. Because I have this thing where I envision myself
didn't have a very high success
as
rate,
these
Johnny.
main characters,
Yeah.
and I feel like I'm the one doing
Being
these
rejected.
cringy things, and so I cannot watch
smacked over
it.
the head by a bag.
Yeah, so I just could not enjoy Johnny Bravo as much as it's a great cartoon and legendary. Like, I used to cringe so much. I don't know. That's just how I am. So that's why I don't like
secondhand embarrassment. You should read about that, though. I was reading about that the other day, and why people get secondhand, and people get from what I got, rather, people get secondhand embarrassment because, like, exactly what you said, you're so empathetic that you take on other people's
This is a therapist,
other people.
psychologist
Hey, don't quote
calling me empathetic.
I have not looked at
I'm
a
empathetic,
psychology
guys. Listen,
textbook in a
I'm
minute.
an empath.
But it even goes further. Because my thing was, sometimes, like, when someone trips and falls, I feel like I feel a little bit of a pain.
You wince.
Yeah. And then I was checking that, and that's for
you.
people who are like really, really high in empathy. Like, you take on the feelings of other people so much that you almost physically, your brain translates their pain as yours. And so it's a weird tingly, it's not a nice pain. It's like a weird tingly sensation when someone just like trips and falls, or someone on TV drops something or something. It's very strange. You need to learn how to
We just
that.
feel too much, guys. We just feel, we feel too much.
All right, man. Let's get back to music. What were you talking about?
But nah, listen. Shout out to Child Stars. I don't know how you all do it.
Shout out to Child Stars.
That's how
Shout out to Child Stars. It's hilarious.
95% of conversations end up with us shouting
Shout
people
out.
out.
You have to shout people out in case you said something crazy. The shout out is the whitewash.
All right, but let's talk about
get
new
into music,
man. I'm going to start because I feel like I didn't listen to that much.
You say that every podcast, which means you don't really care. Ooh.
Guys, can you see?
No, you're not.
And then he's the one who always says that I like
me.
to weaponize the audience and paint
You
narrative.
weaponize the audience a lot. You do. You've done that like 3 times already today. What are you talking about?
Where's your proof?
I don't know. All right, we'll watch it back. All right, man. Go ahead.
Okay, so I listened to Stone by Toxic Lyrically. Really digging the production. He also gave a really in-depth podcast.
He was saying some stuff too. Like
He was saying this really in-depth story about the attack at Kiamaiko, and I was like, bro,
went through it.
like how he was being approached, like he had to like, but he was really telling that story like Soldier Boy, like he held the knife and then like he pushed the guy up. I was like, bro, and then he reversed the
was
car.
that during the beef?
Yeah, this is during, but I don't think
It wasn't because
I don't think it was. I think it was something else, and I think they were really. I don't know the Mauru Gwash. I don't know if they were really after Toxic or Mauru or both of them.
Yeah,
but
anyway,
yikes.
Yeah, that song is interesting. I think him and Country Hype. First off, I went to look at Country Hype. I always thought Country Hype was a Kenyan producer. The Country Hype is Jamaican. So the dance hall makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I just found that out recently. Shame on me. But it's really cool. I also saw like the success of what Backbencher has been doing, just because all of going back, just seeing like their link up. And it's pretty cool. I think it was placed in a game. It might have been Need for Speed, which is pretty interesting. Like it's up on like 60 million.
Oh, for real?
I think so. I saw at least I saw it on Country Hype's page.
Oh, wait, that's
and the soundtrack,
massive.
So
dub.
yeah. Anyway, that pairing is obviously going to be a really good one. So shout out to Toxic and
shout
and
out
Country
to Toxic Lyrically.
Yeah.
I also listened to Chinja by Mad G. I mean, he releases every week. So shout out to him. Listen to Kwanini by Saru and Furthermore.
What did you think of that?
Unfortunately I didn't watch the video. I should have. I wanted to watch the video, but I just listened to it.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. It's a Saru Furthermore collab.
I mean, but it isn't though. It's not Gengeton. That one's like trap. That's like the trap formula that they jumped on. For me, when I was just listening to it, I was just chuckling to myself because it's when Migos came into the game, right? They introduced or popularized that whole triplet flow. And that triplet flow really works well for trap. Sorry, and furthermore, they didn't really do the triplet flow. So they still went along with the Gengeton start-stop flow that we're used to. So it's just a very interesting pairing of that flow with trap music. I don't know. It's interesting to see Furthermore doing that kind of music. Both of them actually doing like actual focusing on trap. Like that's cool. That's a nice little toe in the water in terms of just like music and different tastes. We got to see if they do more of that or they just revert back to
more like Gengeton
urban/Genge.
Yeah, sounds. I would say the last thing I listened to in depth would be EO Bass by K-Rop A-Rosh.
Yeah.
The last song was featuring Listen because he did a remix.
Sorry, yeah,
he did a remix
really like
of
that
DJ.
One. Yeah.
Really huge fan of DJ as a song, like the first one. Well, I also like the remix, but just DJ was really dope. I love the production. Just like I love that we're really leaning heavy on integrating our vernacular music with like,
Could this be the Kenyan sound they're talking about?
Find out next time on what it takes to be a Kenyan.
There's so many things that the people watching have to find out now. I don't know if you guys are keeping track. I've lost track of the things we need to find out.
No, but we have to build like anticipation for what we have next. So there's always a find out next time in these messages. But yeah, I think they did a really good job. And yeah, K-Rop is definitely...
He's carving out that space for himself.
He's carving out a niche.
Yeah. Some of these collaborations are also helping a lot.
Yeah, the one with Chemutai Sage would be my favorite.
Yeah.
Like so far. But shout out to the boy, bro. He's really putting in the work. Yeah, I would say that's the last. Is that the last thing I listened to? Oh, I mean, this is music related, I guess, but for those of you who love Kahush's music, it
I
was re-uploaded.
I yeah.
He finally re-uploaded Kiama, and I
Oh
guess
man.
he's hinting at new music soon.
Took the opportunity to go through it again. Love me some Kahush, bro.
So yeah, man. Like, listen, if
Where is
there's
Kahush?
he's always disappearing, so we're looking forward to listening to new Kahush music. But for the time being, you guys will be well fed with music that came out a while ago.
Exactly. Just go re-listen to it.
Yeah.
Now I don't know the mechanics of re-uploading music. I hope they re-uploaded them with the same, so that the legacy of the music continues. Because sometimes when you re-upload it, it stops and you have to start again. And that's not my business. That's their business. Yeah, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, cool. I'll just bring up a couple of Afro House joints that came out. Terra Most by MGM Kenya and Jodisco. That came out. Yelele came out. It was by Sedo and Mordecai Dex. Of course, it's World Cup season with the SSZN.
This is the least World Cup
season
I've ever felt.
Exactly.
Bro,
There's nothing going on, man.
don't feel the World Cup
It's just
hype.
news. For some reason, all the news about the World Cup is news about American politics. It's just
And
so.
Sam, I'm so sorry. As much as I love football, I am not waking up at 3 a.m. to watch these games. I'm so sorry, guys. You've lost me. I'll watch the 10 p.m. games, but that's it.
Yeah, the 10 p.m. games I ended up ending at 1, 2. That's anyway. We'll see. Kadenge was also released by Ali Fresh, Brains, and DJ Ivy, who
Yeah, she was on Onja Onja.
Yeah, she was on Onja Onja. And that's also like a World Cup theme song. This song's usually at this point.
Kadenge Nampira.
Exactly. You have to create something that people will be playing in K1 and when you're watching the matches. So hey, shout out to them for using this opportunity. And the music was also pretty decent. So
I'm just thinking about Sam making a World Cup themed song. It's
do
making
you know
me
I've
laugh.
actually, oh my goodness. Oh man. So there was a time, I think it was 2018, where
No. Can I please listen to it? Please send it to me.
that's staying deep inside
no,
the
no,
drive.
no, no. Send
It's
it to me.
deep. One of the a guy I was working with wanted to pitch music to like the upcoming World Cup.
How would your World Cup song go?
And so I sat down there like trying to create a World Cup jams, World Cup.
Someone was in his room
No.
like ole ole.
And it's all, I don't know why
ole.
World Cup songs always have this generic.
They have their whole
anthem-y-
way oh. It's always like a way
yeah.
thing.
It's the thing is supposed to be like World Cup songs can only be tribal African music. It's ridiculous. But anyways, that's never coming out. I think
My
I've
favorite
even
World Cup
lost it.
song was goal, 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 ole ole ole.
That one was cool.
And then Shakira, of course.
Of
Oh,
course.
and then Kenan. There was just something magical about the 2010 World Cup. Like that was like
that was South Africa, right?
yeah.
That might be top 1.
Give me freedom, give me power.
That might be top 2 World Cups ever.
Like it's just
3.
an injection of nostalgia. Like that's what I would describe it as.
Yeah. So that was fire. What else did I think AJ dropped Rojo with
Oh
the Broken Boys.
yes.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I watched the video as well. Nice video. They were playing a lot with the drone shots and everything.
Yeah.
Really cool, really cool.
And then Reason to Love by Inash and Tesla. There's also a song that what's the name of that song with that Njera was part of? I've forgotten the name of the song. I have to find it.
I got you. So you're talking about Time Out by Kosi X Issue, Njerai, and
Kosi.
Blen,
Yeah.
who I discovered recently. I didn't know about Blen. I didn't know about Blen's music. So shout out to you,
We're
Blen,
talking about Njerai.
from Ethiopia.
It's a
And-
Kenya music podcast. We're talking about Njerai. Afam. Let's refocus.
and, and yeah, no. But like, what did you think about the song?
Interesting. Jerai just usually finds a pocket that works for her, like in terms of the music. Like when she comes on, it's not like like this is a very different thing. It's just like, okay, this makes sense. Like for majority of the collaborations that she does. So it definitely worked. So shout out to her. Still doing the collaborations and hopefully are we in the point where we say we need new Jerai music? Redo
Yes,
that.
we need new Njerai
You have
music.
to start asking these
Definitely,
days because artists get offended sometimes. But in Nigeria, we miss you in the streets.
it
Ye-
comes from a place of love and
yeah,
yearning.
love and love and yearning. Oh man, don't ever say that again. That's so strange.
I just realized when I was saying it, I was like,
It comes from a
bro,
place of love and yearning.
I know that was a bit too intense.
That's too much. Entirely too much. But let's do the pick of the week. The pick of oh man.
I'm sorry.
The pick of the
I'm
week.
crying, guys.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Pick of the week. I had this joint. It might have been an ad. I don't think but I stumbled on it on IG. Maybe not an ad, but then I stumbled on this joint and I was like, this is very nice. Mr. Lou, who is very well known for, what's Mr. Lou well known for? His
just being
electronic,
different.
yeah, his
He's just
electronic
that boy's
hip-hop.
built different.
I think after Love and Yearning, it's
Yeah, I'm
it's
having
going
a
downhill.
goofy mood
So
now.
let's
I'm sorry.
let's hurry up, right? Mr. Lou teamed up with ISRAT. ISAT, my bad, I'm so sorry. IRAT, or IRAT, I don't know how to pronounce that, and Silayio, and then Jua for a song called Mass High. And it's like a blend between like the Kenyan, Mr. Lou has a very Kenyan, his production is very Kenyanish. I don't know how to put it. It's something that I kind of get from Blinky Bill. Like we've talked about that. Like there's a very authentic Kenyan sound to his electronic production. And then he blended that with a lot of the sounds, some of the sounds from Ethiopia. And like if you watch the visualizer in the video and the imaging that goes with it, like it's also that dance, that Ethiopian traditional dance. I thought that was really cool. But that aside, I think the song itself is fantastic. The sampling on there and just the Ethiopia, the instruments that they added along with just the Mr. Lou, usually you can tell the type of sounds he picks for his production. And while this one was not as the patterns that he was using in terms of the kick patterns and the snare, it wasn't as experimental as we know him to be. But I think that really works well because you're blending two different sounds. You probably don't want to do too much so that it's palatable. But I thought it was absolutely fantastic. It's a very, very, very nice song. I would really love to see them. I think the what do you call name is Jua, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, and I'm reading here. So this is kind of this feels very press releasey, but
We're press.
what if
We'll
East
get to
Africa
release
has
it.
been singing the same song all along? Not the same lyrics, not the same languages, not even the same instruments, but the same rhythm. Mass High by Jua, ISAT, IRAT, and Mr. Lou forms part of Chika, an ambitious cultural project exploring the shared musical traditions, histories, and identities that connect communities across East Africa. More than a song, it's an invitation to listen differently. See, I told you that boys build different. And then you are here. You see, it's even in their press. Anyway, to hear the echoes between cultures, to recognize the connections beneath borders, and to imagine what a shared East African future might sound like.
It sounds great, honestly.
Sounds
If this
great.
is the audition, it's definitely give me season 2, episode 2. Give me episode 2. But no, absolutely fantastic song. And so our pick of the week is Mass High, Jua, ISAT, IRAT, Mr. Lou, and Silayio. Yeah, so that's that.
That's that. That's that, guys.
to the boys.
I'm sorry, Love and Yearning is still killing me.
Love and Yearning.
But shout out to Mr. Lou and them. Like, bro, that Sam played this song for me today, and I was like, yo, this is different.
It's like it's definitely a standout in the week, right?
Yeah,
a couple
because
of
it's
good
just
songs, but it's like just really, really stood out.
It's just a different
It's
vibe.
very cool. I'm definitely looking forward to hearing. And this is what we need. We need a lot more blending in terms of, because this is how new genres are formed. A lot more blending in terms of our music, rather than the go-tos. The go-tos are also good too.
The go-tos are also go-to. That's Sam Jedediah Are. Shout out to you guys.
Let's put my government name out there.
You have the free will to do the same to me, by the way.
All right.
Anyway, shout out to you guys
right.
as always for listening to the podcast. We can't stop like being thankful for the support you guys have given us. We're now at video, or in video, and we'd love, love, and appreciate if you guys check us out on YouTube. Give us a spin, share, like, and subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Really, we're just trying to spread the gospel of Kenyan music.
I like that. The gospel of Kenyan music.
Yeah, we're trying. If you're new here, I usually like to end the podcast with the 3 C's, which is a mantra that I devised for myself.
He does.
To kind of help me on my creative journey. The first C being confidence. Always be confident in your work. The second C being consistency. Always be consistent, because consistency beats talent every single time. And number 3, craft. Always, always work on your craft. If you have 5 minutes to spare in your day, spend them doing something that adds to your chosen craft. I don't know why for some fans finds that funny. Like, what's funny about that?
No, it's just because I just realized now that I've been droning through the 3 C's. Like now, like before you say it, before you said craft, my brain said craft. So I've realized that I've already internalized this 3C segment, which is good, I guess.
It's working, guys. It's working. But yeah, try your best to implement these 3 C's. I struggle sometimes, but I'm over here preaching them, and sometimes I catch myself and I'm like, damn, I didn't work on my craft today. So it's not like I'm perfect at them. It's just that I'm trying to like show a little bit of like vulnerability in the sense that like these are things that I'm trying to do myself, and hopefully you guys, it helps you guys. But yeah, man, episode 185. I hope I said that in the intro?
If you didn't, this is episode 185.
Yes, this is episode 185.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah.
And we will be here same time. Same time is funny. But
it's true. Same time, same place. Y'all will, bro. Listen, we've been same here, same time. Well, actually, we used to drop on Wednesdays, but still, you get what I'm trying to say.
Different time, different place.
Okay, we're going off the rails.
We'll catch you guys on episode 186.
We out.
Peace.